Women were critically important through the entire pre-revolutionary years and especially during the Revolution.
100 women would gather on the lawn of a minister's home and they would spin what they called liberty cloth. Now that tells you that they understood that this was a political action. They called themselves the Daughters of Liberty.
The Daughters of Liberty played an instrumental role in the boycotting of British goods following the Townshend Acts, which put a tax on numerous British commodities. The movement started by women after the Townshend Acts were put in place is known as the homespun movement. Instead of purchasing British items, women would weave cloth at home and therefore not only produce resources that allowed them to boycott British materials, but also the homespun movement served the Continental Army by producing clothing and blankets for the soldiers. Secondly, women aided the war effort from home through their economic support. When General George Washington reported to Congress that serious and prolonged shortages of rations, clothing, and pay had nearly exhausted his troops, immediate relief was needed. One woman in particular, Esther Reed, took on this challenge. She wrote what is known as Sentiments of an American Woman. In this, she says, and I quote, "Our ambition is kindled by the same of those heroines of antiquity who have rendered their sex illustrious and have proved to the universe that if the weakness of our Constitution, if opinion and manners did not forbid us to march to glory by the same paths as the men, we should at least equal, and sometimes surpass them, in our love for the public good." End quote. With this patriotic message, she formed the Ladies Association of Philadelphia. This group was able to raise around $300,000 for the war effort. These women were one of many women who took the initiative to participate in the American cause, and their contribution was essential to the war effort. There were also women who were known as camp followers. These females followed Washington's army and were seeking safety, shelter, food, and work. These could either be women looking to aid in the war effort or having no choice but to become a camp follower due to the departure of their husband into the battlefield. Many women would do laundry, cook, or act as a nurse for the soldiers. Many women chose to become nurses. In fact, the Army preferred having females as nurses because for every female nurse, it allowed for another man on the battlefield. Secondly, cooks played an important role in the war. One woman, known as Sarah Jane Osborne, is known for cooking only 1 mile away from the Battle of Yorktown behind the American soldiers' line. She brought the soldiers food while they were fighting in the battle, and she said, I quote, "It would not do for the men to fight and starve too." End quote. Many women also served as soldiers during the Revolutionary War. Although women were not allowed to join the military at the time, many women still served as secret soldiers during the Revolutionary War. Many of them joined in order to earn money for their families, as well as for the rare opportunity to fight for America's independence. Women don't get enough credit as much as they deserve for their role in the independence of our nation today.